Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. An exciting discussion about the AI war, a brief history, and detailed discussion about how Microsoft and Google are participating in AI war. Uh, and in this podcast, we will be providing a very detailed insight. So let me welcome all the participants today. I have Ms. Kamran Nisa with me, Ms. Mehrun Nisa, and also Ms. Tahniyat Saif. I'm very thankful to all of them for joining me in this very exciting and very insightful podcast. So let me start the discussion with Ms. Kamran Nisa that please brief us what is actually an AI war and also a brief history about it as well, please.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will talk about the high stake world of artificial general intelligence (AGI), where tech giants are engaged in a technology competition, which is basically known as AI war. So we will talk about what exactly is the AI war, why this competition exists, which big tech companies are part of it, and who is being affected the most in this competition, and basically who might come out on top. So let's see first what exactly is AI war. In technological perspective, participants aim to outpace their competitors by developing and acquiring advanced technologies, innovations or capabilities with the goal of achieving a strategical advantage. It can be an economic benefit or influence, etc. So let's see what exactly is AGI, or artificial general intelligence, and why are these major tech companies vigorously pursuing its development. So AGI systems are basically not limited to the specific tasks or domain, but have the capacity to transfer their learning and the problem solving capabilities to various contexts. Unlike narrow or specialized artificial intelligence, which is basically designed for specific tasks, so AGI aim to replicate and mimic the human-like cognitive abilities, which basically enable the machines to perform a wide array of tasks with capabilities and generalization with adaptability. So let's take a look at the historical perspective of this war. So the roots of this war can be traced back to the early days of computing, when visionaries like Alan Turing laid the foundation of artificial intelligence. So AI's foundation were laid in the middle of 20th century, but progress was slow at that time because of the limited computational power and data. So in 2010, machine learning, which is basically a subset of artificial intelligence, gained momentum, so marking the beginning of the artificial intelligence regeneration. So fast forwarding to today, and now we find tech giants like Google, Microsoft, and OpenAI at the forefront of the artificial intelligence war, which are basically driving the innovation and competing for their supremacy. So there are other competitors in this field as well, such as Facebook, Amazon, and IBM, although they are somewhat lagging behind in this competitive race nowadays. So let's see how these AI rivals are participating in this AI war. So all these technological companies are basically competing to advance artificial general intelligence and dominate the field. So some of the major players, including Google. So Google has basically has been at the front foot of AI research because of the project like DeepMind and the deployment of AI in the products like Google Search and Google Assistant. So why Microsoft is and how Microsoft is participating. So Microsoft is basically it is heavily investing in AI with Azure AI, Microsoft Research, and the development of AI-driven applications like Microsoft Office and Azure Machine Learning. So OpenAI, which is basically known for pushing the boundaries of AI research, including the development of large language model like GPT-3, which is basically 175 billion parameter model, and it aims to ensure the AI benefit for all of humanity. Next, we have Facebook. Facebook is basically using artificial general intelligence for various purposes, including the content recommendation, virtual reality, and augmented reality, etc. So, Amazon, which is basically implying AI in its e-commerce platform and supply chain management, as well as in their cloud services like Amazon Web Services (AWS). So then we have IBM, which has a long history of AI research and offer AI-powered solution for machine learning. So if we take a look at 2019, when Mark has invested $1 billion in OpenAI, and at the same time, the tiny San Francisco company, which is basically the company who designed ChatGPT, and in the same year when Microsoft has invested 2 billion, and it was actually $3 billion investment, which was paid for the huge amount of computing power that OpenAI needed to build the Chat GPT. So they did it because, if successful, it means that the Microsoft could rapidly build and deploy new products based on this technology. So then Microsoft has challenged the big technology competitor, which was Google, with a technological advantage, because Google was the only company that took a took the lead in Google search from with the most user from 2 decades. So the last month, I mean about 7 or 8 months ago, when Microsoft announced another multi-billion-dollar investment in OpenAI in the form of cash, and it was basically invested to provide the cloud computing resources. And after in this investment, Microsoft immediately announced and about the launch of premium version of Microsoft Teams, which was baked by ChatGPT. Some new things they were offering in this product, which was baked by ChatGPT, such as generating the meeting notes automatically. So he also told in an interview, I mean, the CEO of the Microsoft also told in an interview that the expectations are they will be pushing envelope and AI, and they are going to do that across all platforms. So as we all know that the GPT is basically GPT stand for the generative pre-trained transformer. So what is the interesting part here? Google invented the transformer part of their GPT, and that Google's version is called Lambda. Lambda basically stands for the language model for dialogue applications, and the transformer play its role here to predict what text should write next in the answer. So GPT is developed by OpenAI, and Google developed a language model which is called Lambda. So after the breakthrough of ChatGPT, uh, some other as well as some other competitors and the Google as well face significant challenges because the chat gpt reached its 100 million user target in just 2 months after its launch. So if we see in history, the TikTok reached 100 million users after 9 months, and Instagram more than 2 years. So now Ms. Meher is joining us, and I would like to ask her to provide further insight on the development and further discussion. So over to you, Ms. Meher.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So Nisa told us, describe us very nicely the AI war and what is the AI war in today's world. So we all know that whenever we have to search a word or whenever we have to just Google the meaning of a word, we will just go to Google and we will just type that word and the meaning. And Google is just a very important part of our lives, and it has been a part of our life since I guess 2 decades. The thing that broke Google after 2 decades was basically this chat gpt, or I would say Bing, to be precise. So why that happened, and it was a very big thing in the tech world and in the AI world as well. So Nisa basically describe it in detail. So now I'm going to tell the the people that got basically that impacted their performance and their assets. So 93% of the searching and browsing was done in Google, and then only 3% was done on the Bing, which is of Microsoft. So this AI war is between Microsoft and Google. From decades, Google was basically winning that war, and Google was performing very well in AI, and they have very big tech companies. They have Google. Which is to be obvious, Google is a very big platform, and everyone goes there to search and browse, and Google Chrome use Google Chrome as well. So Microsoft basically the most searched word on Microsoft Bing was basically Google, and 93% of the users were using Google for searching and browsing, and browsing for like web browsers for Google Chrome. So now in 2022, in the end of 2022, ChatGPT launched, and it basically Nisa as Nisa told us that it gained 100 million users in just 2 months, which is a very big thing for an AI company. And basically, people experienced AI live, and basically interacted with AI for the very first time in a very like a long waited basically ages. So now the problem here is that 2 decades of Google investment and the whole revenue was generating by Google search. And the problem here was that ChatGPT came and it was trained on on the whole internet till to September 2021, and it has all the information about that the Google has. So and it will just pick the most relevant answers as well, because whenever you are searching and browsing and researching on Google or any other platform, you would have to search and basically find your answer, and you have to just go through millions of links, and sometimes you don't find your answers as well. But ChatGPT made it very different, that it basically gets you a very precise and a very customized answer for you. So people just attracted by it, and Google search was replaced by just ChatGPT. It has only the knowledge of till 2021. It does not have real-time knowledge, but it was replaced by ChatGPT. And the big thing happened that Microsoft invested in OpenAI, and it basically integrated OpenAI technologies, which are GPT-3, GPT 3.5 Turbo, and GPT-4 as well, in its all of its services, like Microsoft Azure, Bing, and everything that we can possibly imagine. So Microsoft basically won the AI war, and it basically transformed this AI war structure. And Google was winning that war continuously from Microsoft, and Microsoft is now on the top because they invested 10 billion dollars in OpenAI. So we are going to talk about what is happening in this AI war between these two big tech companies. So first of all, let's imagine that these big tech companies are kings in a chess game. So basically, these kings are they always basically invest in their queens, and the queens work hard, and the queens need some money to basically do their work. And those queens are basically the startup companies that these big tech giants investing in. So for Google, it's DeepMind, and for Microsoft, it's OpenAI. And basically, these big tech companies, Microsoft and Google, provide money, and they let their services be used by these startups. So OpenAI was when Microsoft invested in OpenAI. OpenAI basically Microsoft let OpenAI to use all of its services data, and basically improve its models. So this is what happening here, and this is how a big tech company is going to win the AI war. And winning that war is very important because yeah, as we all know that ChatGPT rival was created by Google, which is Bard AI, and Bing is against Google Search, and Edge, Google like Microsoft Edge is against Google Chrome, and Microsoft Teams is against Google Suite. So
Miss Meher,
this, yes.
Ms. Meher, let me ask a question here. Is Microsoft has undoubtedly achieved a significant benefit, and it is basically continue to do so, and leading in the opening AI competition. However, why we are having this discussion? What potential drawback should we consider? I mean, why should not Microsoft stop collaborating with OpenAI and introduce its own AI models in the market?
Okay, so this question is most commonly asked by even Microsoft CEO herself. So when basically Wired asked Nadella why Microsoft invested in OpenAI, so when it has begun investing in its own large language model for decades, so why they invested in Microsoft like OpenAI? So Nadella basically said that he could see that OpenAI was going after the same thing as Microsoft. Rather than trying to train five different foundation models, at the same time, Nadella saw an opportunity to partner with OpenAI to make one foundational model where two independent companies could go after one goal with discipline. So this this answer was given by Nadella, and we have a lot of doubts and we have a lot of basically arguments in this investment as well. So we are going to discuss in the upcoming podcast as well about this in Microsoft and OpenAI collaboration. Coming back to the
Okay.
war that was happening. Basically, how these big tech companies were investing in a lot of startups, and it has been happening since ages. But what is different here with ChatGPT, with generative AI models? So the difference is that whenever these services are being used by users, the more users are using these services are basically getting more data, and more data means they can fine tune their models and improve their accuracy and improve their performance, and then eventually they will get even more users because they have even more improved and good services as well. So that is what happening here with Bard and ChatGPT, and even because ChatGPT and GPT-3, GPT 3.5, and GPT-4 is integrated in almost every services that Microsoft provides right now. So Microsoft is winning this AI war against Google because of OpenAI, and basically in this generative AI war, like in this age, we have like data is like a gold for us because data is everything. Data is basically selling as a very big investment. So the more users are using these services, for example, more users are using ChatGPT than they are using Bard. So what whose algorithm is improving? ChatGPT's algorithm, because ChatGPT is training on more user dialogues data, more diverse data. So they are getting that data, and then they are basically improving their models. And then if their models are being improved, then more people are basically using that. So it's a cycle that is repeating since December, because more and more people are using ChatGPT as compared to any other LLM, large language model. So that is what happening here, is that the more people are using ChatGPT, the more it's getting improved, and that is the whole reason that Microsoft is winning this AI war. So here I'm going to
So, sorry to interrupt
I have a
you.
question here. Yeah, I have a question here, Ms. Meher, that when you say that the AI war that is currently staged between the tech giants like Google and Microsoft, this is won by Microsoft, right?
yes, sir.
But is this lead is forever, or you see something different as well? Like, for example, when you say that the algorithms of the OpenAI uh, are being trained. So what is there for Microsoft? How you say this thing that Microsoft is winning the whole war? That's actually what the mole point
Yes,
is
sir.
basically like how Microsoft is winning this war while the whole benefit is going to OpenAI.
Basically, Microsoft invested in OpenAI, and it is basically the deal that happened between the two is that the terms of Microsoft investment in OpenAI gave Microsoft 75% of OpenAI profits until its $13 billion investment is being paid. Okay, then after that, Microsoft will receive 49% of OpenAI profit until it earns a profit of $92 billion. And after that, Microsoft receives no profit, no more profits. So that was the initial deal between OpenAI and Microsoft. So the problem here is that Microsoft do not have any model of its own, and OpenAI models are being improved day by day due to Microsoft. So in simple words, uh, if coming back to the example of that king and queen, because everything is being done by the queen, that the queen is now so much powerful that it can just become a competitor of the king. So it just becomes the king herself. So it is what happening here. So this is not just like the benefit is getting by like the OpenAI is getting all the benefit of improving the models and algorithms. It's GPT-3 is the whole reason ChatGPT and GPT 3.5 and all of its algorithms and all of its models are this much good is because of Microsoft, because Microsoft provided all of these opportunities to OpenAI to basically more and more people to use them. So the whole
No, but I
uh,
have a question here. You see that Microsoft provided all those opportunities, right? Google already has Chrome in the game, right?
yes, sir.
OpenAI does not have a browser, right? So the whole uh, browsing community, like to me, it was already the market was with Google, right? Now, what opportunities are you talking about? What opportunities Microsoft has provided to ChatGPT, and why Google is not able to chase them, basically? You see my point. Like, for example, if
Yes.
tomorrow you just give a better option than ChatGPT, everybody will jump to that because they don't want to pay for this much higher, right? So my point is basically that why you think that this war is won by OpenAI and Microsoft, and why Google is not able to give very strong retaliation. What's the reason actually?
The problem that happened with Bard AI, especially because Bard is basically a rival of Chat. It was supposed to be a rival of ChatGPT, but I don't think it is because it is trained for a very different task. So they made a mistake that they launched Bard after so many months after ChatGPT was launched. So what they did, they introduced some new features that ChatGPT do not have. So they basically make that the Bard is basically can access the internet and get like browse the internet and get the information for you. And it is trained for a very different task than ChatGPT. ChatGPT is basically going to give you a very creative answers and very I would say creative is a perfect word. So it will just give you a very good answers in a very interesting way. So whenever you are basically asking ChatGPT about something, it will give you a very good answer in a behavioral way. And when you ask Bard a question, it will give you more logical and factual like way of answering the question. So that was what different with Bard AI. And talking about what basically went wrong with Bard, it was like it is nothing bad in Bard, because the whole reason and the whole task that was assigned for Bard, it is completing that task because it is for question answering. And the whole point is basically getting all of the information from the internet, and getting that information is very hard. It's itself a very hard task. So chat gpt is good. Why? Because it is not accessing the internet in real time. So it is not accessing the internet, it is just giving you the information from its pre-trained knowledge, and it is they are constantly fine tuning it, so it will give you
That's
far.
a kind of actually. Sorry, I'm cutting you again,
No
but
sir, no
that
problem.
seems to me that we should give the audience with examples the edge of the chat GPT and the weakness of Bard as well. Okay. And we should make a comparison with the open source models as well. What do you think about that? Can this be like, can we present to our audience about all this thing, like why Bard is not catching up, or what is the reason, and why Google is not able to do that, or they really want to do some innovation? Because this thing, personally, Ms. Mehrunisa, I am not accepting. DeepMind is a very big and very deep rooted AI company, right? Very deep rooted. So people who are by profession AI professionals, they are in there basically. Why they are not able to compete? I'm still not able to get that answer. Like for example, if if for example you're saying that ChatGPT was meant for different thing and Bard was meant for different thing, okay, then the number of users Bard should also be attracting a group of people as well. You agree with this point of view or not?
Yes,
So
I
for
totally
that
agree.
purpose, I have an example to share with all of you that is based on BART
Yeah, please.
answering strategies. For a single time, a GIF shared by Google shows BART answering each and every question which we try to question it. So they try to question it. What new discoveries from the James Webb Space Telescope can I tell my 9-year-old about that? Like you have to answer me in terms of 9-year-old understood questionable answers. But for that purpose, BART offers 3 bullet points in return, including one states that the telescope which try to discover these type of discoveries like Webb Space Telescope, but this whole matter took the very first pictures of a planet outside of our own solar system. So this is the whole answer and question which is answered by the Bard against that particular type of question of James Webb Space Telescope. But that is completely incorrect. That is incorrect by that is mentioned or pointed out by a Twitter post by an astronomer that the picture shared by the Bard against that particular type of question is incorrect. That is not even a picture of an astronomer. Also, that discussion against that particular type of question is also incorrect. So the main problem with the BART is that the solutions are sometimes the answer it tried to provide against particular type of question, which we try to answer it or question it, is completely incorrect. And it actually pointed out in some Twitter post that the BART answer is incorrect. So the problem is the main problem is also highlighted through this point of view as well.
So it is basically happening with chat gpt as well, and even bing as well, because microsoft just rushed to launch bing, like integrated with chat gpt and gpt-4. So the whole team of openai basically warned microsoft that this is not the right time to launch it, because it is not being like trained enough for dialogues. But they eventually launched it, and it made a lot of errors and incorrect answers as well. well, because whenever we are dealing with the internet on real time, you can expect wrong answers. We cannot expect that from ChatGPT, but we can expect that if from GPT-4, which is basically getting the answers from the internet. So this is why it was happening. This the whole problem was with the real time browsing and real time searching for answer. And Bing is basically now so much improved, and the whole reason Bard was giving a lot of incorrect answers was that they launched it in a rush. To be very honest, they were just trying to compete with OpenAI, and they wanted to launch a model, and they launched Bard AI, and it was and even their presentation was a blunder. They're full of blunders. They just forgot their phone for demo, so it
How
was
is
they were
this
not
possible?
prepared.
We are talking about Google. We are not talking about uh, any university students project, right?
Yes,
Right?
exactly.
So how is this possible? Like I'm not believing it. Basically, what I want to see now, even with examples, what problem are they are creating, or what's the trouble they are in actually. Let me see this thing from that perspective as well. So that's fine basically, but I would like to request all the participants here, including your good self, that we need to actually give examples as well. So let's collect some examples on the comparison, and let's have a second podcast in continuation of this AI war as well. What do you think about that? I think we need
Yes,
that,
exactly.
right?
Yes, yes,
Right?
exactly, sir.
Okay, okay. Please continue. Please continue. You just you were discussing, and let's discuss the other aspects as well. If you have something in mind, basically. So, like, what do you think about the other aspects? Like, as I told you, I mean,
Yes, exactly.
who is winning this war in the long term? Like for now, this is okay. Microsoft has a lead, but till what time they can take this lead? And also, can also you highlight the issues of security and privacy? Like
Yes, exactly, sir.
who will actually be winning this war, and what is actually the future from your perspective?
Basically, Microsoft investment in OpenAI is has a lot of raising questions from our sides as well. That why they invested in OpenAI, because they were basically developing their own large language models. So why they don't just work on their models, but they because ChatGPT was a thing and was getting popularity, so they just rushed to invest in OpenAI instead of developing their models. And a lot of the times Microsoft is basically after AI startups, so they just saw an opportunity and they just avail that. So the problem here is that Microsoft has an audience or users that basically have a trust in Microsoft, and a lot of people are basically using Microsoft since ages. So they just basically whenever they're investing in a startup, it is not like any other startup with ChatGPT or OpenAI. Which with OpenAI it was different, because OpenAI is working with generative AI, and generative AI is has to do everything with data. So and the data is a new gold, as I discussed earlier as well. So the whole data that is integrated, like the whole services that is being integrated with OpenAI technologies are using those users data, and the users are those that are basically users of Microsoft. So Microsoft basically introduced a complete third party between its users and Microsoft. So this third party, like people trust Microsoft, they do not trust OpenAI, and OpenAI is using all of its data to train its model. So basically, if they are basically getting the 10 billion investment, and they they are just letting their models being improved by by even getting money. So the things that you have to like pay for, they are getting it for being paid. So this is the whole thing that happened there with Microsoft. And also if they were developing if they were to develop a mutual model, which is basically mutual with their mutual efforts with Microsoft AI team and Open AI team, and they develop a model together, it is a different thing because they will have a whole control over that model. So all of the Open AI's model are not like used or developed by Microsoft AI. So the partnership between Microsoft and OpenAI had some very serious problem with the team as well. So Microsoft AI team had budget cuts and had trouble using OpenAI technology for Bing search. So OpenAI warned them not to rush, but Microsoft went ahead anyway. So they were just trying to launch a new product, which is Bing, and they launched it and it caused problems. So, and another thing was that the team of the team AI team in Microsoft was not getting the whole access of open AI models. So for example, they are just there was no transparency. They were just black boxes for them. So OpenAI was not sharing their models with Microsoft AI team. So that was another huge problem. So in simple word, they are trying to like get work together, but it's been like very tricky because of issues they have faced. So they and a lot of interviews, such as Jaspreet Bindra, founder of tech consultancy a firm which is Tech Whisperer, said it will be interesting to see how Microsoft and OpenAI manage to avoid stepping on each other toes now. And this means that stepping on each other toes means that they are just avoiding direct competition very hard. So they are trying to avoid direct competition, but they're struggling with that. So it is clear that this investment is not fun. It was not all fun. Yes, it helped Microsoft achieved the big dreams of competing with Google and even going far away from Google in AI war. But it is not long because the whole reason Microsoft won this AI war for this time was due to OpenAI. And if OpenAI, like I told that after 92 billion, after OpenAI reached 92 billion dollars, the Microsoft received no more profits from them. So now Microsoft also have to pay OpenAI to basically use their products, and all of their products are being integrated with OpenAI. So what's next? So our question is basically around is what will Microsoft do after that? They don't have any other models. They don't have any equity or license to use or even basically control OpenAI models. So that was the whole problem here with security as well, and with a lot of different issues. We think that this deal was good. And they can be, and also I have saw Microsoft using some open AI models, open source models as well. So they collaborated with Facebook Meta, and they use their Llama 2 model, which is like both 70 billion and I guess 13 billion as well. And they launched it on Microsoft Azure. And they were basically offering people to basically use these models and get get a full control of one LLM as well. So they are trying, I think they are trying to basically invest in open source LLMs as well, and they should, because with this future, with only depending on OpenAI, it is very hard for Microsoft to just think of winning that in this AI war forever.
You see, from this podcast, actually, I see two more potential podcasts which are very, very important. One, uh, in this AI tech war, we know, like for example, even if we are saying that Google is currently uh, not a winner, but I would say Google is not even a loser as well. Okay, so still competing.
Yes,
Okay,
it's not a loser,
let's
yes.
have. It's not a loser actually. So let's actually have some more examples on the board and OpenAI comparison, and see with examples actually that which one is winning. And then we should actually also have a comparison with the open source as well. So what others are doing actually, those are trying to compete. You see my point, okay? So let's have that perspective as well, which will be very, very interesting to see that why there is a lead for ChatGPT. And as you were actually telling me off the record that it's not that ChatGPT is indispensable, okay, which means
Yes,
like
exactly.
nobody can compete with it. There are actually chances and there are instances where ChatGPT is not able to compete with the results of the open source model. So we have to highlight those results as well. Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
definitely.
so what else? I mean, you have anything in mind you want to talk about, or you think that we have discussed enough about the AI war between the tech giants and their way forward? Can you please tell me what are you envisioning in the future? What do you think this war is going towards actually? How this will be tackled in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year actually? Yeah.
Sir,
Bas
we can also discuss here some other aspects like how Google can regain its popularity and user base to compete with Microsoft in this race. I mean, the
Yes,
possibility and
please.
strategy it can try to explore and to come in the forefront. So we can also discuss this aspect as well.
Yes, exactly. And the only reason Google is basically failing, the one of the reason as well, is that Google basically had something to lose, and Bing was just nothing before all of this AI adventure. So Google has a lot of users using them on regular basis, so they have something to lose, and Bing does not have something to lose. So they just transformed Bing, and they transformed Bard AI, or I would say Google Chrome. And now a lot of people are just switching to Bing because Bing just provide you summarized answer. They just it just provides you with a very complete summaries of long paragraphs, long books, and they even give you disclaimers about what this content is about. So it has just transformed the research industry as well. So it is also a reason that Bing was nothing before that, and Google was everything before this AI adventure. So that is also one reason that Google all of the things that Google are doing is not enough to basically uh, beat this like the fire of chat gpt and OpenAI, that OpenAI created it. And a lot of people and chat gpt also have a first mover advantage as well, because they everyone just saw uh, a chat gpt as the only thing that they can use, and they are just comfortable using them because they are using in uncountable ways. So they are just used to using chat gpt and not any other LLM. And to be very honest, a lot of people don't even know that their other LLMs also exist, or they are just being like stuck with ChatGPT only. So that is also one reason that Google is not whatever Google is doing is just not enough right now.
As the data at which the BARD is trained, currently trained, is 20 years old data. That we can see that ChatGPT in alternative, ChatGPT is trained on huge amount of data, but that is latest. That is based on latest trends, each and everything. But meanwhile, BARD is trained on 20 years old data. That is also a big impact on BARD answers and each and every type of responses. Also, the
Why
main
they
issue
can't train
behind
it
that
on
was
a real-time data? Do you think hardware is an issue for them?
no, sir,
No,
hardware
not
is
at all.
not issue. Actually, the data they try to train against for BARD is actually the Google data that it tried to capture almost 20 years. So their main concern is to launch a platform against OpenAI. They do not have any concern at that point about the correctness of that model. They just try to launch something against
One more thing
OpenAI,
that
against ChatGPT.
yes, one more thing that I want to add here is that ChatGPT is trained on the whole internet data with web scraping and everything. And BARD is not trained on the internet data. It is basically designed to chat with you and access the web and make like get the answer for you. So it is not trained on the Google data, and that is also one big mistake that Google made. They thought that this technology where the whole internet is basically in your chat, and the bard can access the internet and search the information for you would work. But the people are more were more interested in something like even more better than chat gpt. So it was this thing happening as well, and Google made another mistake because they do not have that much time. So they don't have that much time, they did not have that much time to train bard on like the whole internet and do the whole process that ChatGPT did in a such short amount of time. So I don't know why they did not even consider to do it after this failure or after this. It is not a failure. A lot of like user bases of Bard as well, and they like Bard and they use Bard in their day-to-day life, because Bing is not free. Bing integrated with GPT-4 is not free right now. You can just chat like 5 dialogues per day. So you are just getting $5, and after that people are using Bard for that purpose. But the whole problem is that they had the whole Google and also chat gpt, the whole information that Google has had for 20 years. Chat gpt basically used that as well. So it is not a problem for anyone to basically train it on whole internet, because whole internet is public, it is not a private thing. And people has just like eh, filed a lot of complaints and cases on OpenAI as well, that their data is being used in training purposes, while they were just against it. And I was seeing some examples of that, and some companies just uh, uh, did a case on OpenAI as well, that they used their data on their training. So it is not a thing that anyone cannot access internet. If Google has all of that data, anyone can have all of that data because it is public. It is not a private property. But they just did a shortcut at that time. They trained a Bard on a data set that was created by, I guess, they trained Lambda, their model that was basically a competitor of GPT-3 in 2021. So they trained Bard on that data, and they trained it to basically access the web. And I think this whole thing was not a good idea to basically launch a rival against it. They should have just taken some time to basically develop a similar technology like ChatGPT as well.
Actually, if we see the whole war perspective, and take the example of even the most conservative investors here. So once we are participating in a bull market, then we can convince the others to invest. If we take an example, a JPG sold for $1.3 billion. It was just a cartoon picture of the rock, and another photograph of a potato was sold for $1 million. Basically, the people rather be poor together. They feel left behind by everyone else getting rich. So it is the zero interest rate epidemic, and actually the big tech companies are not immune to this epidemic. So each of them are spending money to expand their business, and they actually do not want to left behind. So when we hear the news that the Google cuts 12,000 jobs of their employees, they spend it and hire aggressively, even if they did not have a solid plan, and they did not know how to deploy the capital effectively, and they also do not know how to use the how use of these talent they hired. So this is basically the in other news that was that people were noticing about the Google.
I think we have covered all the points,
Yes,
and
sir.
if anything is not remaining, then I'll turn off this call, and
So the
we'll have another session.
rest of things can be discussed in upcoming podcast, so we can stop this here.
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining this interesting discussion. And inshallah, we'll discuss and we'll set up this thing, set up the second podcast again. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure,
Bye.
sir. Thank you very much.